Good morning, my friendly people. We are live on Cubcam TV. This is Breakfast with KXVU. Got two fantastic guests on the way. Going to let you know exactly what's going on after this one. Kicking off with some tough culture and SG.
Deep breath into the lungs. Give thanks for what is to come.
This one, Good Vibes,
Journey
out tomorrow.
Greatness only journey begins where you
Bringing you fresh flavours all the way through.
Where you don't snooze, we're active on things. Choices you choose. Pick you up when you're down. Get you right when you're left. Back we get you up front. Good vibes now, we don't stress. Pick you up when you're down. Get you right when you're left. Back we get you up front. Good vibes now, we don't stress. Rising up with the sun. My heart be rhythm of drums. Energy second to none. Good vibes are always welcome. Good music helps release attention. Give yourself time enough attention. True oneness to achieve ascension. Level up with the ejection.
As I was saying, sounds of tough culture and SG on this one. This one off the 2020 Elements LP, number 7. This is the Nitro edition. Forthcoming on Garage Shared this weekend. Ooh.
Pick you up when you're down. Get you right when you're left. Back we get you up front. Good vibes now, we don't stress. Pick you up when you're down. Get you right when you're left. Back we get you up front. Good vibes now, we don't stress.
What's going on, people? It's Razor. You're live and direct, locked into the waviest breakfast on the airwaves. Man like KXVU. Bang.
Pick you up when you're down. Get you right when you're left. Back we get you up front. Good vibes now, we don't stress. Pick you up when you're down. Get you right when you're left. Back we get you up front. Good vibes now, we don't.
Out to the locked in crew each and every time. Send us a signal if you are locked in. Throw a like on the video as well, of course. Let's get that SEO up. Get my phone on silent as well. Schoolboy.
Shining bright like the sun. Deep breath into the lungs. Give thanks for what is to come. Greatness only journeys begun. Greatness only journey begins. Where you don't lose, there's only big wins. Where you don't snooze, we're active on things. Choices you choose affects how you live. Pick you up when you're down. Get you right when you're left. Back we get you up front. Good vibes now, we don't stress. Pick you up when you're down. Get you right when you're left. Back we get you up front. Good vibes now, we don't stress.
Right then, friends, we are inside the building. Welcome back to Breakfast with KXVU here on Cubcam TV. It's fantastic to see you all joining us this morning. I'm really looking forward to today's show. We've got some fantastic guests on the way. I want to say a massive thank you to everyone who is supporting the channel. As I was saying before, we are temporarily recording the show here live from the cave. We're back on brekkie duty whilst the Trickstar Radio studio gets revamped and gets re-put together. And I thought, you know what, I'm not just going to take 2 weeks off. I've got some fantastic guests kind of plugged in, so I'm going to make sure we still do these interviews, but we're going to do them live via Cubcam TV, and then they'll go out via Trickstar Radio afterwards. So that's the kind of plan with what we're doing at the moment. Massive shouts out to everyone locking in. Make sure you're throwing a like on the video, and of course throwing a comment in the side section as well. Let us know where you're locked in from, who you're most excited to listen to, whose interview you're here to watch. I'm really keen to find all of this out, just because well, I want to know. It's my channel at the end of the day. So yeah, it's been an interesting week so far. We've seen a couple of very interesting musical things happening. We're seeing more and more kind of more of a push towards events kind of taking place as much as possible. I think, to be honest with you, the majority of the UK are starting to get annoyed that we can't actually go to raves anymore. We're seeing so many sit-down raves getting arranged. We're seeing so many of these, I don't know if they're called plague raves, being stopped by the police, essentially. We're seeing a lot of people basically trying to get that rave mentality back into action, which is it's interesting, to be honest with you. So yeah, we're going to see how that unfolds. I know there's an event going on at the Volks in Brighton on Friday, which I'm quite surprised about. which is, I think there's 7 people on the lineup. It's all sat down tables and stuff, which is mad to me. But tables at the Volks, come on, that's just odd. But it's the sort of thing that's happening, and we're hearing like loads of places basically need to have these events going on. Otherwise, they're going to be in trouble, which is fair enough. I mean, it's not cheap to own a venue. You know, it's expensive to have the building, to have all the power going in and everything, and all the utilities of that building. They're not small places either. They are big buildings. So I think we are going to start to see a lot of events popping over the next few weeks, which are going to be kind of run with this more sort of this sort of socially distanced kind of vibe. I think they're going to start popping up quite regularly. I'm surprised as well to see how low the infection rate is in Brighton, to be honest with you. It seems to be so low, despite the fact that we are all outside quite often. Maybe it's because we're outside rather than going to enclosed spaces, but there we go. Out to the locked in crew each and every time. Let's run through today's guests then, shall we? So first of all, we're going to be joined by the one they call Kirby T. He's going to be on the line with us from around 9 o'clock. That should be a very interesting one. We're going to be talking to him about his career through Grime, through his musical outlet as well, obviously working through the DJ kind of circuit that he's on at the moment, his kind of rise over the last year to being one of the more notorious grime DJs out there right now. We're going to talk about how he went through that process, how he was inspired by grime, and then what his future plans are for him and his brand that he carries. So that's going to be an interesting one. I'm looking forward to getting into that conversation. Following that, we're going to be talking to Rxwntree, a producer who has been very active within the UK scene over the last couple of years, producing for the likes of Mostack, Miraa, Chip, Skepta as well, Young Ads. There's loads of people he's been producing for, so we're going to be talking to him about his kind of method, his process, how he got involved, how he builds these types of really kind of classic UK tunes, which should be really, really enjoyable. This is what I love about this show. We're not just here talking about DJs or producers or MCs. We're talking about kind of behind the scenes producers. We're talking about event promotion. We're talking about a lot of different things on the show, which I absolutely love. I love the fact that we're not just restrained to kind of one element, you know? That's what I love more than anything else. So what we're going to be doing over the course of the next sort of 30 minutes or so is running, or 20 minutes at this point, is running through some news articles. We're going to be looking at, let me have a look into my pad and see what I've got written down here. We're going to be looking at a very interesting case of lots of cocaine being found in vegetables at Gatwick. We're going to be looking at news that there are some new audio-enabled trainers that allow you to feel music in your feet as you run, which should be quite interesting. Uncomfortable, I would presume. And we're also possibly going to be looking at this new Crack Magazine 3-minute program for making music videos as well. So they're the 3 kind of topics we're going to be looking at this morning. For everyone locking in, please do make sure you are sharing the stream. If you throw a like on the video, it makes a massive difference to how many people can see it when it gets shared out across social media, and it takes less than half a second to do. So do make sure you are throwing a like on the video. It makes a massive difference. And of course, leave a comment on the right-hand side. Let us know where you're locked in from. I want to hear from you guys. I want to hear from for who you're looking forward to watching. I want to hear about what you're up to this weekend. I want to have the conversations. That's what we're here to do. So let's crack on then, because we've got some good music to play. We've got some bangers in the bag as per. This one coming to us from Common Saints goes by the name of Summer Sun. This was in the playlisting for Trickstar this week. Obviously, we're not in the building for the next couple of weeks, so we're going to be running a few of the bangers we were going to be running on there on this show. Of course, that's how we like to do things. So this one going by the name of Summer Sun by Common Saints. Keep it locked. Don't go anywhere. We're live on KXVU TV. It's Breakfast with KXVU, baby. Oh, yes.
Get it on in the summer sun when the love is around, everybody's feeling. Get it on in the summer sun when the love is around, it's a wonderful feeling.
Anytime it's live, you have to go true. Make sure you subscribe to the YouTube channel right now. KXVU TV. Stay locked.
Sounds of Common Saints on this one. Track entitled Summer Sun. Woof.
Get it on in the summer sun when the love is around. It's a wonderful feeling.
What a smooth way to wake up this morning here on Cubcam TV. You know how we do. Radio voice.
Get it on in the summer sun when the love is around. Everybody's Get it on in the summer sun when the love is around. It's a wonderful feeling. What a feeling. What a feeling.
Can't beat a good saxophone, can you? As a good saxophone solo can make or break a tune, in my opinion. But there we go. Out to Common Saints on that one. Track entitled Summer Sun. Smooth, sumptuous flavours. What a way to kick us off this morning. A smooth wake up here. Now, it's quite a weird one for me because obviously I'm kind of at home now, waking up doing this show at this sort of time. So I'm very much in between where I was during lockdown and before lockdown. Because obviously during lockdown, it was very much you're at home. That's what you're doing. That's the entirety of the stuff. But now I'm kind of back into a routine, and now I've been thrown back into this routine. It's a very unusual headspace to find myself in, but staying motivated has been a little bit difficult, but you know, we try to crack on and do a few bits. I did forget at the start of the show to run through the television announcements as per. So socials wise, you can catch me on Instagram as well as Facebook, following that Twitter and SoundCloud, all of those available at KXVU. Following that as well, you can catch this show podcasted. Of course, it does go up onto Spotify, Apple Music, and SoundCloud. We take all the music out and turn it into a piece of long-form conversation. That is available at Breakfast with Kovu, the interview. Simply search that and you'll find it. And tonight, of course, it is the Thursday premieres, which is always a very enjoyable evening for me. We will be doing live music reactions here on the channel, Cubcam TV. So make sure you are subscribing if you are new to the channel. It does make a massive difference. And we are obviously trying to hit 2,000 subs within the smoothest, quickest amount of time possible. We've been a little bit slower this week, just obviously because we've been going back and forth between Trickstar and here. It's been a little bit disjointed, so I'm trying to build with that in mind. However, we are going to be doing new reaction videos this evening, which basically means looking through new music videos that are dropping from around the UK and beyond, and taking them in, basically working out whether we like them or not, and filming reaction videos to them. And people tend to really like these. They're always very analytical. They're always very kind of breaky downy of the tune, which tends to work quite nicely. So there we go. Also, of course, make sure you are hitting that subscribe button. It does make a massive difference to the channel. We're trying to grow, baby. We're trying to grow and turn this into a legitimate music kind of reviewing slash interviewing platform, which we're already close to doing, but I just want to push it that bit further every single time. So there we go. Let's look into our first bit of news, shall we? Because this one is quite interesting. It's quite funny, to be fair. And I love these stories we start with seeing a lot of now about people basically smuggling drugs in different ways, because people, I'm assuming, who work at border patrols are quite wise to smuggling methods, I would presume anyway. But looking at this, millions of pounds worth of cocaine was found in vegetables at Gatwick Airport. The Class A drug was seized from 3 different flights from Kingston, Jamaica. On August the 11th, Border Force seized 22 kilograms of cocaine with an estimated net worth of 1.8 million, whilst 30 kilograms of cocaine worth 2.4 million was seized on August the 18th. Both hauls were concealed within vegetables such as sweet potatoes, according to the Home Office. So there we go. A week later, August the 25th, another 3 kilograms of cocaine with an estimated worth of 250,000 was suspended in liquid. Gatwick's National Crime Agency branch commander Mark McCormack said, working with our colleagues at Border Force, we are determined to do all we can to stop Class A drugs reaching the streets of the UK where they can cause so much damage. These seizures are an example of that action in our investigations are ongoing. Now, I'm going to take a quite a liberal look at this in the way I kind of discuss it. It's all about creativity, you'd presume, you know, like I mean, I know someone who, when I was younger, I don't know what he took, but he took something on holiday with him and he hid it in his razor, as in his like shaver razor, and nothing got found. So I presume there are still ways people can bring stuff in through flying and not get caught. But it's just all very interesting, you know. It does kind of make you go, ooh, what's actually going on here? And it's just a bizarre one, kind of looking through it. kind of with that, but vegetables, I'd have never thought to kind of crack open a sweet potato and stuff it, which is interesting. How do you reseal it? That's the most interesting thing. How do you reseal a potato that you've literally opened to stuff full of cocaine? Interesting, very interesting. We've seen loads of these. I mean, we've seen people doing it in like people have done it in tires before. I mean, I don't know all of them. I'm far from an expert on Class A drug transportation methods, if I'm being completely honest with you. I'm merely reading this off an article. But there we go. Let's jump into another banger whilst we are here, because I'm looking forward to getting into some good musical chat today, I've got to say. Looking through these, let's get into some Nines, purely because I'm absolutely loving what Nines is doing right now. And of course, this new collaboration with the guys at NSG is an absolute belter as well, purely because I love NSG to begin with, and then to see what they did with this Nines tune, when the way they've collaborated and really kind of taken it and really kind of made it their own more than anything else. It's been sick to do. So let's get into this one. This is Airplane Mode featuring Nines. Let's get into this one. There it is. It's there. I don't know why NSG aren't labelled on the recording, but we'll change that in just a second. Keep it locked. Don't go anywhere. We're live on Breakfast with Kovu, baby. Oh, yes.
Zeno Records.
Airplane mode to ignore them. Yeah, we all please, so I don't fear them. I can't talk to the wake up in the chair, man. Can't fuck with them, got they for bear, man. She asked if I got the girl, I say how many? How many mansion? Too many. You can get left by the Benjamin Mendy. Or she want to Fenty, I'm cruising the Bentley.
I ain't these rap niggas, I supply bricks. I got 3 phones, one's for my side chicks. So you better feel special if I let you in my life. All friendly in the DM, that can never be my wife, She getting too attached, but I need space. Trying to turn this Nokia into a briefcase. Chicks, I got plenty. Broms all the miles away, I'll get there in 45 minutes in this Bentley. Pussy so good, got me coming crunch. I hit you from the back like a sucker punch. Been to your hood, your block sweet. Used to have to stream the football, now we watching from the box seat. See them dying over chicks that I smash. For these bricks, you could pay me in Bitcoin or cash, IC, NSG. I'm busy, but I'll shout you back when I'm free, and that's never.
Airplane mode to ignore them. Yeah, we all please, so I don't fear them. I can't talk to the wake up in the chair, man. Can't fuck with them, got they for bear, man. She asked if I got the girl, I say how many? How many mansion? Too many. You can get left by the Benjamin Mendy. Or she want to Fenty, I'm cruising the Bentley. I don't wanna sound too cocky. Sex on legs, what she calls me. Chilling with some mobsters dressed like NSG, not ASAP Rocky. She wanna munch me like Tadaki. Stress free, but I ain't free yet. Face my fears in my chest, yeah. Backstreet boy, you know we want it that way. Them man only shop on Black Friday.
These broke boys praying on my down, but I keep it moving, you can't stop me now. Bring the Henny bottle when we touch down. Yeah, we shut down and we get pounds. See, I'm a star, that got more the best loud. If I show my face, you gotta pay me now, yeah. What's the point of being real when they all fake? I'm just trying to get this money for being big.
Airplane mode to ignore them. Yeah, we all please, so I don't fear them. I can't talk to the wake up in the chair, man. Can't fuck with them, got they for bear, man. She asked if I got the girl, I say how many? How many mansion? Too many. You can get left by the Benjamin Mendy. Or she want to Fenty, I'm cruising the Bentley. Leave your bad vibe at home. Don't fuck up my zone. And yeah, crime's what we know, but you can't blame us, grew up, bro. See, tonight just wanna have a good night. She just want good vibe. Far from your average hood guy.
I'm tryna be the best me. Tryna live my life all stress-free. But they won't drain my energy. So I picked the cue in front of masjid. Now I feel a tap away. And this I ain't the same. Now that fly away. Now that girl dry. Yeah. Came a long way looking back.
You know what, yeah?
Was full of plaques.
Are NSG capable of making a bad tune? I don't think they are, you know. Every tune just slaps.
Virgin Mary, but she busted open like a boiler Henny. I'm essential, dripping like a foreigner. Speaking my
their banger ability is off the chain.
Airplane mode to ignore them. Yeah, we all please, so I don't fear them. I can't talk to the wake up in the chair, man. Can't fuck with them, got they for bear, man. She asked if I got the girl, I say how many? How many mansion? Too many. You can get left by the Benjamin Mendy. Or she want to Fenty, I'm cruising the Bentley.
Right then, friends, we're back inside the building. How are we doing this morning? That one, airplane mode from Nines alongside NSG. Thank you to everyone joining us this morning. Make sure you are throwing a like on the video. It makes a massive difference every single time. It increases the reach of the show. So when we post it on different social media channels, it makes it easier for people to see it. It pops up further up their newsfeed, all of that good stuff. So let's look at another news article this morning, purely because I want to take in some news and look at what's going on. So this one is quite interesting. It's looking like we've seen a pair of trainers that have emerged, and this comes to us via DJ Mag, that basically play the vibration of music into your feet whilst you run. Now, I'm not too sure about this. This is what I've taken from the context of the article. We're going to read through the article in just a second to see exactly how it means, but I always find anything to do with kind of I don't know, like massage chairs and anything that's like vibrating to kind of make your, like, to kind of, I don't know, soothe you or anything along those lines, or when you're running to try and influence you. Don't know, I find it really uncomfortable personally, but that's probably just me. A new pair of audio-enabled trainers now allows you to feel music in your feet. Okay, the LA-based Drop Labs, who have developed the first sonic sensory footwear, released their new trainer EP01 in 2019. The shoe, fitted with patented technology, delivers audio from any connected Bluetooth device, creating a full body bass audio to simulate live events. The trainers can be used for music and movies as well as VR games. Now, I can understand that a little bit more. The newest release of the EP01, which is now on sale for $299.99, so they're not cheap. These are pricey things that you're going to be wearing and having vibrating. Very odd. It's titled the Triple Black Edition and sees all black exterior paired with a groundbreaking technology. Susan Paley, the CEO of Drop Labs, has worked with Beats by Dre and says the embedded software platform allows us to continue to refine the experience and provide more unique customization at the individual level. We've developed a proprietary technology that we have integrated into the midsole of the sneaker that converts audio signals into vibrations. When these vibrations are delivered through your feet and synchronized with what you hear in your ears, it is a completely transformative experience for digital entertainment. Although initially envisaged to recreate the energy of live dance music, adding this immersion layer into gaming, movies, and VR is next level. Now, I can understand VR, because VR, you want to be completely immersed in what's going on. Movies, I'm still not convinced about complete immersion in movies. You know, I think it's a little bit weird. But anyway, the shoes have 6 hours of battery life, are water resistant, and come with a 1-year warranty. So there we go. Interesting stuff. Let us know your thoughts if you are locked in. If you are one of the people locked in this morning, let us know. Would you buy these for £300? If $300, do you think it's worth having vibrating feet for $300? I don't personally think it's. I don't think it's that good a thing. Personally, I don't know. I just feel like it's a bit of a novelty, and it'd wear off quite quickly. Like, I'd get annoyed if, whenever I went anywhere listening to music, I was just vibrating head to toe. Maybe that's just me though. Like, I don't know. I find it just a little bit. I don't know. Just a bit annoying. Maybe that's the sort of mood I'm in today. Here we go. Who knows? Out to the locked in crew each and every time. We are going to get into another tune in just a second. And then following that, we are going to get into a conversation with man like Kirby T, who's waiting on the end of the line. I'm really looking forward to this conversation. We're going to be kind of going through his influences, his kind of experiences so far within Grime and what he's been doing in and around the scene, obviously the different people he's performed with, and then sort of future plans and how lockdowns affected him specifically, and everything in between that. It should be a wicked conversation, so do make sure you are sticking around for that one. As always, you can catch me on every social media platform, as I'm about to bring up on my screen now. Every social media platform at KXVU, so that is Instagram, as well as Facebook, as well as Twitter, and of course SoundCloud. You can catch me on all of those. I'm posting near enough every day on every single one, so there's always content for you to take in. As well as that, you can check out the podcast for this show by searching Breakfast with Kovu, the interviews, over on Spotify, Apple Music, and SoundCloud as well. Well worth doing if you want some long form listening content. It makes a lot of there's a lot of interesting stuff on there, so please do get involved, and of course hit that subscribe button whilst you are here. Let's crack on with what we're doing. Good morning, WT4Y. Good morning, my friend. How are you? I hope you're doing okay. Let's crack on with another banger then before we get into today's interview section. So this one coming to us from Echo Round, track entitled Kindness Valley. Really cool roller. Let's crack on, and I'm going to give Kirby T a ring in just a second. WT4Y. I'm doing well, just going to have a day off the music and have a day out. You do that, my friend. I've had a couple of those recently. Good for the soul. Like this tune. Right then, my friends, we're back inside the building. How are we doing this morning? We are live on Cubcam TV. Welcome back to Breakfast with KXVU here. It's been a very enjoyable start to the day. We've had some interesting bits of news, some good tunes, and we are jumping into our first interview next. Man like Kirby T joins us on the line. How are you doing, my friend?
Hello, mate. Yeah, not too bad. How are you doing? You good?
I'm good, sir. You know what? I'm good. I'm really good. It's good to hear from you. It's good to have you on the show. I've been looking forward to this one.
Yeah, do you know what? It's been a long time since I've done a breakfast show, so yeah, I was really looking forward to this one. So yeah, thank you for having me, man.
Lovely stuff, man. Thanks for coming on. I mean, there's a lot of stuff for us to talk about. There's a lot of kind of discussion for us to get into, but like kind of what I want to kind of get into first, obviously, there's a lot of different guests that come on this show. There's a lot of different people who come on the podcast in general, from all sorts of different walks of creative industries, and I wanted to kind of make sure people are very aware of who you are and what you're doing. So for those that aren't aware, who is Kirby T?
Kirby T. Well, Kirby T, we'll say I'm a DJ / presenter. I'm based in the Essex area. And yeah, I like to mix. I love grime. That's where most people would know me. I would say in the grime scene. I love doing different sets with MCs. But yeah, I think I can go into a lot more detail. We can kind of break down, you know, what I do and yeah, I can give you a bit more info on what I've been getting up to and what I've got planned.
Nice, man. Well, that's exactly what we're here to do, and I can't wait to dive into it. So, kind of with the kind of earlier side of what you were doing, what was the thing that kind of drew you into both grime and DJing to begin with? Like, what was the kind of hook factor?
Well, do you know what? There was always something in me that kind of knew I wanted to do music. I always loved music, and to be honest, my parents, they were more down the rock and roll side. They like listening to Nirvana, they like listening to the old Oasis. My dad more the indie rock side. So that's kind of what I grew up listening to, just because that's what they was listening to. And from there, I think when I went on to discover my own music and what I liked, it was very different. I liked garage, I liked house, I loved 90s hip hop. And I did like grime, but I think at the time I didn't have the full understanding of it. So it wasn't until I actually got chucked out of school.
Okay.
I made it to the last year. I made it to year 11, and I just had really bad attitude problems in school. It just weren't for me, and they basically said, we've had enough here, and I ended up having to go to a unit. So for this unit, it was just so I could still do my GCSEs.
Yeah. And
it was only 2 days a week, so they had to fill up the other days of the week with me doing stuff. And they asked me what I wanted to do, and I said, to be honest, I want to do music. From there, they actually got in touch with the local radio station to where I am, community radio station called Gateway. And they come back to me and said they're doing a radio broadcasting course, and it's a 6-month course. You just be there 2 days a week. I thought, wicked, yeah, of course, I'd be down for that. And that's kind of where the journey started, because I'd done the broadcasting course, and when I've come out of that, I've wanted to stay on, and I actually stayed on as a volunteer. And I encouraged that, because the station didn't actually have any decks at the time, and I actually encouraged them to get a controller.
Okay.
Because I really wanted to learn, and I really wanted to be able to mix in songs on my show. And yeah, somehow managed to persuade them, and they actually got a controller for the station, which I used. Yeah, I've used and abused. And yeah, that's the start of the journey.
That's the intro.
To DJing.
Amazing, man. So kind of with that then, if we're looking through it, like, how was the show kind of run pre kind of turntables? I'm assuming it was all done off some kind of like sort of like play out kind of system software.
Yeah. I mean, I think I started off just doing pre-records, and it was just like literally a case of pressing play, and they had these CD players. And they're really hard to explain, because they were like installed into a unit almost, and they had the tempo adjuster, like it was like a mixer.
Okay, yeah, I know the ones you mean.
You know what I mean. I'm terrible at explaining these kind of things.
Yeah.
Like, they had one of those, and at the time I was burning music onto discs as well. So I was running it through there and recording it onto Audacity.
Okay, wow. So we're going proper old school here in the kind of makeup of the show. We're going very much like almost using what's available to make the product as best as possible, rather than having like the slickest equipment on deck. That's
it.
Wicked, man. I mean, so kind of with that then, so how long did you end up staying at the station?
That's a good question. So I started there when I was 15. Do you know what? It must have been about 4 years in total.
Wow. So it's a long period of time. It's a long period of time.
It was. They offered me work in between. I had 2 6-month contracts where I was actually getting paid to work there, which was ideal. That was because I think there was a couple of times where I could have called it a day, and maybe tried to look for something else. But the station on both occasions were quite keen to have me stay,
Yeah.
And they managed to sort out something where they got me on almost like a internship kind of contract.
Definitely. So kind of with that then, obviously they've kind of seen your enthusiasm for it, and they've kind of seen what you've been kind of doing when you've been at the station, and kind of gone, okay, cool, we want to keep you on because you're helping us here in the long run. Like, how important then for you is the idea of having community radio stations? Like, how important are they on like a global scale with music?
Well, before, I mean, even during probably like the first period of when I was at the station, I probably still wouldn't have seen the importance of it. But it is so important because everyone needs a place to start, you know. And if it weren't for me getting chucked out of school and being given that opportunity to come and learn and be able to eventually have my own show, then I would not be here right now. I would not have learned all that I've learned. Like, they gave me the first platform really that I needed.
Definitely.
That was like the first step. So, and there needs to be more of that. I'd love to do something in the future where I can kind of get more people involved in that kind of thing, because there wasn't enough of it, I felt, at the station, because not to blow my own trumpet, but there's not loads of success stories from Gateway. But if there was more community radio stations, more funding for young people to come in and learn and then progress, I think you'd see a lot more.
Definitely, no, I'm in complete agreement with you, man. I think the idea of having kind of paid roles within radio stations is the sort of thing that is going to keep people wanting to carry on with that sort of musical journey and carry on with that broadcast journey, because I feel there's only so much you can kind of work extensively for free, you know?
Exactly. And, I'm still doing it now, still working for free at times, but sometimes you got to do what you got to do. But...
Of course, man, of course. It's finding the balance, I feel, most of the time. It's finding that balance between kind of understanding that there is, a lot of the time, there isn't any budget, and understanding your worth to platforms such as radio stations at the same time.
Exactly.
It's a difficult kind of balance to make. Like, so where did you end up once you kind of left Gateway?
Gateway. So from Gateway, we then go on to Westside. Now, there's been a few bits that have happened in between this as well, because by this time I've left schools, but I'm still at Gateway. I actually went on to college, and I actually done a music technology level 2 course. It was just a yearly course.
Yeah.
But I sat that out, smashed that out, and I made quite a good few friends from that, who, some of them, like a couple of them, I'm still in contact with now, and that's where I learned more about the music production side of things. So after college has passed, and I think one thing I asked my tutor while I was at college, I said, look, I want to be a DJ. I need to get my own controller, not just obviously use Gateway's own controller.
Yeah.
I said, what would you do first? Would you get a car so you can travel, or would you get the equipment first? And this specific tutor, he said, well, me personally, I would get yourself the wheels first, because then you can go where you want. So then that was my focus, on getting myself a car.
Yeah, of course.
So worked, got the motor out the way. That was lovely. I then bought myself my own controller. So I managed to get get the Pioneers.
Very nice.
Which helped me learn even more, to be honest, the way that they're designed. And from there, I then applied for Westside, and I got a response pretty much straight away. Big up Zone, manager over there. He got in touch straight away, and he invited me down for an interview. And funny enough, when he was chatting to me, he was saying it would be good for you to come down and do like a shadow of a show. And the show that he was meaning about at the time was a show called Grime Sessions.
Oh, okay, the legendary kind of Grime Sessions.
Yeah, the legendary Grime Sessions. Yeah, originally founded by Rebecca Judd and Olos, big up those guys. It's my brother and sister right there. So I said, all right, cool, I'm happy to do that. Arranged the date. He's let Rebecca and Olos know that I'm going to be coming down, and like I say, it was just meant to be a shadowing show. So I get a phone call on the day, and it's a phone call from Rebecca.
Yeah.
And she's like, like I've got some guests coming down, and we want to do a set, but we haven't got CDJs that take USB. We've only just got CDJs. Do you have like a controller or decks that you could bring? I said, no problem. I'll bring my controller down and we'll do a set. And the rest is history.
The rest has literally come from that.
Yeah, so I come down, set up the decks, and it was a set with me, J Ammo, Lyrical Strally, and Spitz, and that was the first ever Grime sessions with all us three. It was the first day as well. It was the first day for T Shaw, who is the Grime sessions official cameraman.
Yeah.
So he filmed the set. We got it up on YouTube within a couple of days, and do you know what? I think the numbers surprised us. And we just kept going. We kept doing it week in, week out, and yeah, it ended up becoming a really big thing, and I'm forever grateful for that.
Definitely, bro. Yeah, I mean, when we're looking back over kind of like kind of legendary shows that have happened over the years, I feel Grime Sessions is one of those platforms that kind of has that notoriety. Obviously, the kind of look we see from the videos, the kind of artwork. Look, there's something about that which, if you're a fan of Grime, you're likely to have seen it at some point.
Thank you, man. Yeah, I mean, I think there was even a time, I think people didn't even know who I was.
Yeah.
But I would say Grime Sessions. Like, oh, Grime Sessions. Oh, that's you. So, you know, it was but it was a blessing, because to come from a small community radio station in Basildon to go all the way over to West London and have a new show, and then when I'm out and about going to different raves and things like that, people are coming up to me, people are talking to me, and they know who I am just because of doing that. It was a real...
It must have been a real buzz, kind of having that kind of that radio experience, and it kind of instantaneously turning into almost like not necessarily instantaneously certified, but it felt like it was very quickly established as one of the platforms to kind of go on. Like, you're looking around all the different stations, and they all have like that one kind of Grime platform to go on. I feel that Grime Sessions was very much in and around that, was in that conversation for quite a while.
Yeah, no, I agree. And I think, to be honest, I feel like the teamwork really helped that as well. Like, what goes on behind the scenes, like me, Rebecca, Shaw, Olos, even Akash, the producer at the time, we all had such a good chemistry. Like, we all got along so well together. We worked so well together. Everything just worked. And I think it was really encouraging for the guests. Like, if you've ever met Rebecca and Olos, you know how much energy and how lively they are and how welcoming they are. So with all the guests, they're getting that energy when they're coming through. I think it really helped them. It was like a place to remember.
Yeah. Definitely, 100%, man, 100%, and the story behind it's sick as well. The fact that you kind of have applied for the kind of to get involved, you've shadowed the show, you've ended up bringing your controller down, and the actual product has almost been born by that unison of what they're doing, and the fact you were there with a controller available. It's quite like it's quite a fun story. So kind of what we're going to do next is we're going to move into one of the tunes you sent over to play. So this one comes from Razor, produced by Jake Bob. It goes by the name of Rainbow Road. So why is this one in today's selections?
Right, so I picked this one out because I actually released a project last year. It's a very short compilation project, 8 tracks long, featuring all different artists. We can go into that a bit more in a sec, but I'll give you a little teaser first of all.
Of course.
It's a track from Razor entitled Rainbow Road, and it's Jake Bob on production.
Let's go. Let's get into this one then. So don't go anywhere, guys. Keep it locked. Make sure you're throwing a like on the video, of course, and yeah, share it about. Don't go anywhere. It's Breakfast with KXVU here on KXVU TV and Trickstar Radio. Oh yes.
manifesto. Gas ting when I spray shell and SO. When it wasn't really for the money from the get-go. But now I gotta get paid, gotta make dough. Gotta work with the dough like a baker does. Crazy, you know, don't play with us. Done already said that we're dangerous. I got the sauce, they're flavorless. I'm like, I got the sauce. Man, a man came with the condiments. I've been out there collecting the compliments. That's why I touch track with all the confidence. Wanna do what I do, how I do what I do. But what I do's advanced, them in a basic. Wavy, that's what they're wasting. Guess whose songs on a playlist? What's happening? Guess who's back again? Yes, I'm black again. Cause for applause, then I'm clapping them. Culture clash when I clash with them. East London, West Africa, Niger boy, but my name ain't Femi. MCs get licked with a spade, then bury. Rainbow Road, and I'm going on Shelly. What's happening? Guess who's back again? Yes, I'm black again. Cause for applause, then I'm clapping them. Culture clash when I clash with them. East London, West Africa, Niger boy, but my name ain't Femi. MCs get licked with a spade, then bury. Rainbow Road, and I'm going on Shelly. Guess who's colder? It's the South Point soldier. 22 MP3s in a folder. Stay in your lane or catch some audience shoulder. A man, I got drive, can't come from the road. Blood, know what I rep, it's the edge that I'm over. I've been doing waves on waves, what's sober. I've been doing waves on waves, what's sober. It's an omen, act like you know what it is when I roll in. More than a strike spare fam, this ain't bowling. I don't repeat myself and I already told him. He didn't think I'd do it, so I showed him. Watch how I end my opponent. Leave man swollen and broken. Said I'm still on job and I'm still in motion. What's happening? Guess who's back again? Yes, I'm black again. Cause for applause, then I'm clapping them. Culture clash when I clash with them. East London, West Africa, Niger boy, but my name ain't Femi. MCs get licked with a spade, then buried. Rainbow Road, and I'm going on Shelly. What's happening? Guess who's back again? Yes, I'm black again. Cause for applause, then I'm clapping them. Culture clash when I clash with them. East London, West Africa, Niger boy, but my name ain't Femi. MCs get licked with a spade, then buried. Rainbow Road, and I'm going on Shelly. Alright, big man, I'm the chief and I'll light up more than a wigwam. Can't bang skits when they're built like a twig fam. Y'all them move like a trench and they dig, man. Got them sucked in like quicksand. They said that I'm taking a sip, fam. Been in the queue since 1:45. Be a vex when I roll on through for my wristband. I show up and shell, show up and show up and shell, show up and shell, show up and shell, show up and show up and shell, show up and shell. I show up and shell, show up and show up and shell. I came with the man them, but I'll leave with their girl. I show up and show up and shell, I show up and shell. R to the A. I show up and show, I show up and show. I'm going on Shelly. I'm going on Shelly. I'm going on hold up, wait, what's happening? Berry. Shelly, Shelly, Shelly.
Right then, friends, we're back inside the building. How are we doing this morning? We are live on the line with Kirby T. That one going by the name of Rainbow Road by Razor, produced by Jake Bob. So talk to me about the project as a whole. Like, what was the general layout of it?
Well, to be honest, I during my period at Gateway, so going back again, I already had this idea of kind of doing a mixtape, more of. You know, I'm technically not really doing much work. I'm kind of just getting MCs and producers, putting them together and creating a compilation project of a wide variety of different tunes, but mainly, obviously, being grime.
Yeah, of course.
So I released like just a little freebie, chucked it on Bandcamp or whatever, and you know, I'd done alright for what it was. But I wanted to then do something a little bit more professional with it.
Yeah, that makes sense.
It didn't really go entirely to plan because there was a period of my career where I was actually working in a music studio as a trainee sound engineer.
Okay.
And while I was doing that, I did have a really good relationship at the time with the guy who was running the studio, and I put forward this idea of this mixtape, and I said all the different people that I wanted to have on there, and you know, he was fully game for helping me, and he was fully down for actually like mixing and mastering the project as a whole. So yeah, we got to work, and I'll be honest, there was a lot more tracks done than what is actually on the tape.
Yeah.
And that is purely because over time the project started to get more finished. all the music is on the Mac at the studio.
Yeah.
I haven't taken all these project files home with me. Schoolboy error.
Oh.
Schoolboy error. Yep. And over time, me and the guy who was running the studio, our relationship then kind of took a back turn, and then we kind of had a falling out, and from there I was no longer working in the studio.
Yeah.
I had to get back and find a normal day job to pay the bills.
Of course.
But what that meant was I needed to recover the Logic files that were on the computer. So by the time I've actually come to an agreement to go and get the tracks, he's changed over his Mac. He did change everything over from the old Mac to the new Mac, but every Logic file was corrupted.
Oh, that's the worst. So there's no way of actually retrieving the tracks that you had recorded.
Exactly.
Oh,
Exactly. And the thing is, we had the audio, but they were not mixed and mastered fully. There was no saving them. We couldn't put it out.
there was no like rebuilding from the stems. It was just long, essentially. Like everything was mismatched. I presume I've seen that happen, and that's really annoying because when you put the time and effort into building a project with a theme, especially, and then suddenly you aren't able to actually access the files that it's built from, that must have been incredibly frustrating.
Yeah, it is, and it makes me feel a bit bad as well, because it's the other artists that have come down and used their time to put into helping me put this project together, and they haven't even got a track out of it. They've made the travel to come down to the studio and record, but they've not even got a finished track out of it. And do you know what it was? I think that put a real downer on me at the time. And I was actually, in all honesty, I was just going to scrap the project. I was just going to scrap the project and maybe start again. Because within the tracks that I lost, there was a couple that were still usable. Yeah. Like a couple. So a few of my friends were kind of egging me on to just get it done. And it's been about a year now already since I've already started it. So I'm thinking about the fact of how old it is now, and is it really worth it? But I got in touch with a few more people, a lot of close friends as well, and I said, look, can we do this? And yeah, luckily a lot of them were happy to help out, Razor included. That's probably the newest track that made the cut. It's probably the last one that was done.
Wicked.
But yeah, it was. I'm trying to think the best way to describe it, because I think in my head I had this vision, I had this great idea, and it just felt like nothing was going to plan. It kind of brings me on to the next track. I know you're going to play it in a bit, but there's a track I've sent you by Manga Saint Hilaire.
Yeah, of course.
A track entitled Lonely People. Now, this is what I mean by nothing going to plan. Now, I sent you this track because that's actually an unreleased tune that didn't make the cut, and because of the sample, it is quite a bait sample.
Yeah, of course.
You understand why it didn't make the cut. But I was chatting to Manga, and Manga was like, "Yeah, no, just use it. It'll be fine. If you're doing it through Ditto, he said, I've got a Plan B sample in my in the Outburst album, and they've not picked up on it. I'm sure you'll be fine." Sent it over to Ditto. Nah, they weren't having none of it.
Oh, so annoying.
So there's another track down, and do you know what? There was even other tracks which, I won't even say like the artist name or whatever, but there was some which I then had this project ready, and there was some of the older tracks which I could have used. I'm then keeping the artist up to date, saying, look, sorry about the delay, but we got like a new release time. Is it okay to still put it on? Rah. And a couple of them weren't too happy with it, which it's understandable to a certain extent, but I think there were certain artists who feel like they've progressed a lot So the content that they want to be putting out, they want it to be...
Yeah, of course. They don't want to be putting out content that's like a year old and not them at their current, like, almost final form.
So yeah, if that project was finished exactly how I wanted it to, with all the tracks on there, it'd probably be about a 20-track project.
Oh, so annoying, bro. And I feel your pain, because there's nothing more annoying than putting all the effort and time into building something like that for it to just kind of collapse through no real fault of your own, you know, for it to just be kind of just find yourself in a sticky situation where you can't really do anything else other than let certain tracks go or not run with the full project. I mean, it's distressing to listen to, I won't lie. Kind of with that then, we've only got a couple of minutes left, so what I want to do is kind of round up with what's on the way from yourself in the near future. So what's the rest of 2020 looking like?
2020, well, I know we're obviously on Trickstar right now, but you can catch me every other Wednesday at 7 till 9 on Rep. That's actually a new slot, rotating with Benteke, which I was very blessed to get over the lockdown period just by doing pre-recorded shows from the bedroom and sending them over. So yeah, I'm a new member for the Represent family, so you'll be able to see me a lot more involved with Rep. I'm kind of sitting on the fence waiting for more bars and clubs and things like that to open. So I'm hoping a few more booking opportunities will start to appear. I would eventually like to do another mixtape, but I just feel like right now is not the right time. So when the time is right, there will be another mixtape coming. And you know what? Just learning, to be honest with you, mate, because you know I've got like basic knowledge in like mixing and mastering, basic knowledge in producing, and to be honest, I'd love to expand that knowledge and take it a lot further. I'm trying to tell you as much as possible, because I feel like there's so much that I'm trying to do. It's just with lockdown and everything, there's only so much you can do.
Of course, man, of course.
So for me, it's more doing as much as I can with what I've got at the moment.
Definitely,
during
man.
these times.
Well, there we go. I mean, we're going to finish up now because we've only got a couple of minutes left, so I want to get into this tune and make sure we do get a good chunk of it. So, thank you for coming on. It's been really good to have a chat this morning.
Thank you for having me, mate.
It's been awesome. So, one time, what is the best place people can get hold of you on social media?
So I'm a bit awkward. So I'm at Kirby T DJ on Instagram, and then I'm at Kirby T _DJ on Twitter because someone else nicked
the worst. It's the worst. But anyway, it's been great having you on, dude. We'll catch up soon, and stay safe.
Thanks again.
Bless, guys, bless. We're gonna jump into this one next then from Manga Saint Hilaire, produced by Jams, going by the name of Lonely People. After that, we're gonna get onto the phone with Rxwntree, so keep it locked. Don't go anywhere. We are live on Breakfast with KXVU. Oh yes.
He had all the cool things, bare creps, talked to all the buff things on ends. If you saw him, you'd think man's blessed. Man had a portion of big man stress. Said there was torture inside his head. Man felt awkward around his friends. He kept all of them at arm's length. He would have shown them how deep it gets. He was a strong one, and when you're a strong one, you're scared to look weak, I guess. He don't want to be seen as less, so more and more, he just pretend. Lying to himself is laying in his bed. Demons won't let him rest. Misunderstood, didn't want to stand out, so we held it all in instead. Yeah, they roll with her cause she's pretty. Snaps all around the city. Fire emoji, kissing emoji, get slitty. Caption, keep a bad bitch with me. Whoever's buff, she get picky. Whoever's there with the Lizzie. Out of the instant, singing in district. And she loves a bad boy like Diddy. But daytime when it's hard time, it's mad. Everybody's line is busy. All of her so-called friends, busy. The don she met at the club, busy. Sitting alone, no love in her home. Ran down and she's feeling she's feeling old, bare stress on her soul. She's asking herself, who is she?
Right then, my friends, we're back inside the building. How are we doing this morning? A massive shout out to Kirby T for the last hour or so. Really good conversation with him about everything he's been involved in, and obviously the sad story of a mixtape that never really came together as it should have. We're moving on to our second guest of the day next. Man like Rxwntree on the line. How are you doing, my friend?
Hey. Good morning, everyone. Morning.
How are you, my friend?
I'm good. I'm good. Just been grinding in the studio, working through lockdown.
That's what I like to hear, bro. That's what I like to hear. I mean, this is the thing. We kind of met through essentially online. We met through Twitter. I think it was you saw a reaction video I did and then got in contact with me following on from that, which is quite cool as a way of kind of meeting people. So kind of with that, what I want to do is obviously with this show, there's a lot of different people that lock in from different sort of creative backgrounds, different sorts of areas of the industry. So for those that aren't aware, who is Rxwntree?
So Rxwntree's a multi-diverse producer from East London. I started off making grime about 10 years ago. I released my debut EP, which featured JME, Rxwntree 2 Scorcher, Rough Squad. That was 10 years ago, called Out of Reach. Classically trained pianist. I play clarinet and saxophone. I'm also a qualified teacher of 8 years, so I've taught quite a few students that are now doing well in the industry. So yeah, that's kind of my background. Amazing, man. So
like a really kind of well-rounded kind of musical background for yourself.
Yeah, definitely. From live instruments performing to DJing and producing a lot of genres. I don't really like to just kind of stay in one genre. I like to be kind of multi-genred.
Definitely, bro. I mean, it's interesting to hear because obviously you're in a position now where you are very much one of the kind of go-to people within the UK kind of industry specifically for, if you want a banger, like you're one of the people you kind of go to. So how did you, when was the first point in your life where you knew music was what you were going to do?
In school, to be honest, when I used to make songs on Cubase at the time in school and it made people dance, I was like, you know what, this feeling's a nice feeling. It's priceless. Like you can't put a price on making people feel good or giving them memories. And you know, no one lives forever. But if you make music that's really quality, you can actually have your music live forever. You know, and that for me was just like, yeah, I want that experience in life.
Definitely, man. I mean, that's an awesome kind of way to start. So when with that, then were you primarily kind of starting off doing the kind of instrumental side of things, or were you mainly working on production? Like, what was the first sort of avenue you found yourself kind of taking in when you realised this is what you wanted to do?
So I'm from Hackney, so I was in this East London orchestra called CYM, Centre for Young Musicians. So I learned to play the recorder, clarinet and sax there. And then I did that for several years. I started to play with the BBC Symphony Orchestra, did a few appearances on the National Lottery, and I was like, you know, I like this music, but I actually want to just like take this and put this into like music I think is cool and that's credible to me and my peers. So when I started secondary school, I took that classical knowledge and then my jazz infusions, and I thought, you know what, how do I make this now edgy and cool? So that's why I kind of wanted where the inception took place.
Wicked, man. So it really is like for you on the production level, it really is just kind of taking all that experience that you've kind of gained working with orchestras and working on a very kind of a level of high musicality. You've kind of taken that and injected it into more sort of underground UK genres, and that's why I suppose when we hear your stuff, it does have such a kind of musical edge to it.
Yeah, definitely. That's the best way to sum it up.
Wicked. Well, there we go. Awesome. Okay, so kind of with that then, the sort of earlier days of doing the production side of things, like obviously you spoke about the EP 10 years ago being like quite a big deal. Like, would you say that was your biggest, at the time, that was like the big kind of Kickstarter for you?
I'd say the Kickstart was a song I did for a group called Bomb Squad back in the day on Channel U. So we had like this massive song, and I would get on the bus to go to school, and girls would be playing it. So I just felt like the guy.
Yeah. Like, did you ever turn around and go, I produced that?
Yeah, several times, like, you know, like, just let you know I made that song. Producers' lives matter. So I was like, yeah, like, this is really cool. So at that point, I was like, yeah, this is really what I want to do, you know. And then I went away for a bit and I just learnt my craft. I just got better at things, and it's hard because at the time I grew up, like my next door neighbours, peers from Rudimental, and all the guys living my road, we ended up working at the same school together. So it was hard to see your peers excelling and doing millions of records, and you were still at that same place.
Of course.
Even though you're different talented. So it's like, it's just waiting for your time.
Definitely, bro. Yeah, I can imagine, especially if you're, especially if it's what you know you want to do, and you're surrounding yourself with people who are successful, but also obviously your peers. I can imagine, even in a non-malicious way, being kind of like, oh, why am I not in that same position as them? So did you kind of use that energy to kind of drive you forward?
I just always knew my time was coming, and for the years of service, I would get paid 10, 15 fold. Because, you know, like, even when I was teaching, like, Mostack's come through the college, and Abracadabra, and I taught Abra, MK the Plug, and M1 the producer. So I taught a lot of successful producers that have come out. So I was like, you know what? You just have to wait. Your time's going to come. And because your heart's clean and your energy's always been pure, everyone already knows me at the level they're at. So now we're finally coming through, like, in crazy storms. Everyone that I've kept on a good reward with is now like, yeah, I know you from 10 years ago. Of course, let's do it.
Wicked. So again, this is something I find myself discussing quite a lot on this show. It's that idea of keeping relationships open and actually approaching a kind of musical life with the sense of, you know what, just keep grinding. It's gonna happen, but just keep keep good relationships with people, keep the good energy going, and eventually it will happen.
100%. It's the only way. Like, you would never find anyone's got a bad word to say about me, because I've always just kept it pure. And because I've come from education and being in an orchestra and understanding the business of it, I just understand that people just want honesty and just respect. That's all they really want.
Definitely. No, I completely agree with you, man. I completely agree with you. That idea of being honest and just being very real about what you're doing, I think is one of the most important things. And I think it's something where a lot of people who are new to the industry kind of trip up. They kind of want people to think more of them, or they want people to think a certain way about them. Whereas if you keep it real, that's genuinely the way that people are going to connect with you. And in the long run, it will benefit you. That's kind of like gospel truth for me.
Mm-hmm.
Definitely. Okay, cool. Let's move into one of the first tracks we're going to play on today's show then, because you did mention this guy on the on that kind of list you were just running through, Man Like Mostack. This one goes by the name of Loyal. So talk to me about this tune. How did it come together? Like, how was the response at the time?
So it's like me and Mo, we share the same manager. We've been talking and collaborating for a long time. So we did a song about 3 years ago with Jay Huss on his EP that was top 10, and obviously the Manchester bomb happened, and then it kind of pushed like all the Bonos and Bluetooth, so it took us to top 20. So we've been friends for a long time, and it got to the point where we just sat down over lockdown. We just made a lot of music, and then it's kind of turned into a great body of work. And we thought, you know what, it's lockdown, let's give the people something to listen to. So we just went in the studio one day and created like 4 songs and said, you know what, this song Loyal, we're going to give to them, and now you have it.
Amazing. Well, I can't wait to get into it. It's just coming up to 20 to 10 here on Cubcam TV and Trickstar Radio. Out to everyone locked in. We are live on the line with Rxwntree right about now. Don't go anywhere. Keep it locked.
I got money in the bank, I'm fine. See my little honey with a back, that's mine. If I say I love you, it's a fact for life. Bro, let it put up one time. I'll let it sky from my guy, I'm loyal. Brother. Never switch to the other side, I'm loyal. Never. Bro, I got you for life, I'm loyal. I would never look at your wife, I'm loyal. Over a look of money and a look of change. I seen a chick change over chicken change. Let being loyal be the new thing. Thou should never cheat on that boo thing. Bro, you just got ox and you know it's done. Man, done I love, you don't owe me one. But you gotta watch him, cause he moves still. He moved too friendly with his boys' girl. Yo, I thought I met a bro, but I met a snake. Fuck what you said, man, I heard what you didn't say. I'm just here for the monies, I ain't here to play. I know you think I fucked that girl, but I didn't, babe. She thought I was chillin', she called me with a bitch. I know he ain't speaking, but can I get a kiss? Thought I was mice till I took it from the hip. For my boys, I just gotta take I got money in the bank, I'm fine. See my little honey with a back, that's mine. If I say I love you, it's a fact for life. Bro, let it put up one time. I wanna know. I'll let it sky from my guy, I'm loyal. Never switch to the other side, I'm loyal. Bro, I got you for life, I'm loyal. I would never look at your wife, I'm loyal. You was always about the fame, it was never the love. Start showing true colours when I don't give a fuck. Say hi to a nigga, then it's over for us. I've already crushed my celebrity crush. I go on Instagram, I see some new protects. Have you seen my yard, nigga, have respect. I still protect, touch my bro, you're dead. We done touched them once, I'll do it again. Never done it for myself, but I done it for broski. You got me on the gram, don't act like you know me. Just on a drill, now I'm feeling like Losky. Baby, be real, is it me or the volley? Baby, be real, is it me or the Gucci? Don't know if I really misheard the coochie. Fuck you niggas for the 100th time. They don't like me, but that's I got money in the bank, I'm fine. See my little honey with a back, that's mine. If I say I love you, it's a fact for life. Bro, let it put up one time. I wanna know. I'll let the sky for my guy, I'm loyal. Never switch to the other side, I'm loyal. Bro, I got you for life, I'm loyal. I will never look at your wife, I'm loyal. I'll let the sky for my guy, I'm loyal.
Right then, friends, we're back inside the building. How are we doing this morning? Welcome back to Breakfast with KXVU here on Trickstar Radio and, of course, Cubcamp TV. Out to the new listeners, out to the new subscribers, all that good stuff. We're live on the line with man like Rxwntree. How are you doing, my friend?
I'm good. I hope everyone's good in the morning.
That's what we like to hear. That's what we like to hear. So kind of cracking on then with what we've got on the way from yourself. So obviously during lockdown, we've really seen you kind of rise quite not rapidly, because obviously you've been around for a long period of time, but it feels like a lot of things have kind of like a lot of things have come into fruition during this period for yourself.
Yeah, I mean, to be honest, I'd have to say I work quite a lot with my friends Neo and Wonder, who did do a lot of writing for myself, and we've got some big international collaborations coming out. But I really had a chance to sit down with Miraa, especially Miraa May, and we did her new single. And like as you'll see on Miraa May and Friends, we worked with Octavian, we worked with M. Honjo, and a load of people. And I was like, I was really grateful for her, because she's a really cool person, and bringing me around everyone and getting me involved was great. And obviously with Mo as well, Mostack has been able to bring me around and loads of his friends. So we've been able to make some really interesting music that you're going to hear over the next year or so. Amazing, man.
I mean, kind of with that, and obviously seeing from the amount you've been working and seeing how active you've been, like, would you say you're now in a position, as you said, you've got like music stacked up for the next year? Is that pretty much on a consistent basis? You've just got stuff ready to go?
Yeah, like me and my manager sit down and plan releases and everything monthly, and we just look at our income and just make sure that we're financially cool, so things like lockdown won't affect us. So yeah, we've got releases planned for the next 2 years. Like that aren't even our releases; they're just where the labels have told us they think things are coming out. So it's all good at the moment.
Awesome, bro. I love to hear. You know, I just like to hear about success stories, especially when you're someone who has been working away for like so long. You know, I feel it must be quite a good feeling now to kind of look back and go, all that kind of grinding back in the day was very much worth it.
Yeah, man. I spent times when the problem is I spent a lot of time when I was sleeping in my car, sleeping rough, and people thought I was in a place where I wasn't. But it's like, it's always just trying to just survive. Do you know what it is? I call it, if you can dance in the rain, then you can dance anywhere. So I always tell people, learn how to dance in the rain, and then you'll be fine.
It's a good quote, bro. That's a really good quote. Like, with that then, kind of moving forward, would you say it's very much all looking like it's the sky, the grass is still greener on the other side from where you're currently going? Do you feel like you're on that position where you're still on the up?
Oh yeah. Like we're going to the Grammys. We're going all the way. We're going fully all the way. And then when we get there, I'm gonna dive into some film music, because I've got a big passion for film scoring and whatnot. My little cousin's in the Black Panther Letitia, so she's really doing really well. So it's like it's my whole idea is like, it's just, I'm gonna go back and bring it all back to the orchestra, and I'm gonna start doing scores for films and whatnot, and show everyone that you're a producer of music. That means everything. That means films, you know, and whatnot. Lambert's a really good example. He's made a lot of pop songs and urban songs and whatnot, and now he's scoring films and TV shows. And it's like, I feel like to do music for your whole career, we must evolve. Of course, bro. And this is the thing. The sky really is the limit when it comes to what you can do with musicality. The amount of times we see kind of stories of people who start off kind of just making instrumentals in their room. Next thing, they're collaborating with like some of the biggest artists in the world. Next thing, they, as you say, they're scoring films or like writing, I don't know, the theme for the Olympics or something like that. There really is no kind of limit with it. And I think kind of with that, then I'm going to try and like dig out a bit of advice from you here in regards to kind of new artists, because we get a lot of new artists that listen to this show. If say an artist is locked in who is very much kind of struggling to kind of get himself off the ground, struggling to get his music to like the right people, like what kind of advice would you give him in regards to like cracking on? for me, it's very cliche, but it's the whole idea of never giving up. But you need to start monitoring your progress. So some people start and then they build their own YouTube channel and they might only get 10 views. 10 views is more than zero. But people focus on rapid growth too much, and I'm all about having actual core growth. Like I want core followers. So if I release an album and I've got 10,000 followers, I want to get 10,000 sales. I don't want to be getting an engagement of 500 sales, because that means I've got 9,500 people just preying what I'm doing and not actually supporting my movement. So focus on the core people. 10 followers is 10 tickets sold, who might 10 other people or 5 other people. So focus on building a core following. That's the key to this whole thing. Labels are going to come and go and drop you and whatnot, but if you've got a core following, you can live off residual income and everything for many years. Amazing bit of advice, bro. Because I feel kind of with that, you do kind of see a lot of people very much kind of looking for views as much as anything else, looking for that kind of that sort of almost online kind of appreciation. Yeah. It's like people associate views with validation, and it's not the case. Like I've got 2 of my students who left when I was teaching in the college with not the best results, but both of them are now on Pop Smoke's album and work with Drake. I was like, so like, are we going to judge you by your statistics on the paper or your actual talent? Because your talent can't be measured. Fully. No, I mean that's an amazing story. Kind of with that then, just dipping back to the sort of teaching side of things then. Like, do you still keep a hand in? Are you still teaching at the same time, or is it pretty much full on studio work for yourself now? It's full on studio, but I work a lot with the Ross Squad Foundation. So Ross Squad are responsible for bringing you some of the biggest grime instrumentals. Notably, one Stormzy Shut Up. The instrumental was produced by Ross Squad. AJ and Tracy and Dave, their Thiago Silva samples Pied Piper, one of the big Ross Squad grime rhythms. So I work with these guys because they're doing a lot of stuff for kids in East London, and they've got a charity that really helps kids stay engaged. And there's a lot of things going on in the world, and it's like they really put on a platform that helps kids focus on music or art and just have something to do with their time. Definitely, bro. I mean, I've seen the project floating around. I wrote an article a couple of days ago about a label that were working with them to release music and how important stuff like that actually is, especially in regards to keeping people interested in music. And I feel if you've got that sustained interest, you can actually get through those periods of time where you are kind of going, oh, why am I bothering doing this? Like, what's the point? I'm not really getting anywhere with it. I definitely feel those kind of projects are things that can help you not only get involved but help you push through those kind of moments. 100%. There we go. Let's crack on then, because we've spoke briefly a little bit earlier about Miraa and obviously her kind of getting you involved with some newer heads. So we're going to get into this one, a track entitled "Say Yeah." So talk to me about this tune, because I absolutely love this one. Mate, I've tried to keep this song a secret for so long. So I first met Miraa. I was in a session with Rudimental, who I've got it for a long time. So we had a session with me, myself, Miraa, and Notes, and we were working on a few ideas, and then for some reason, I just got her energy, and I was like, I get you. She's like, I get you. I was like, say no more, that's it. So she had booked a studio in central London for like 2 weeks, and then we booked him for 3 days, and I was like, you know what, I've got so many songs, I've been waiting for you. I've got so many songs ready for you. And this song I started in the studio called Metropolis, and it was called Sat Nav at the time. And I was like, it was all about navigating somewhere. That's why the song is a continuous kind of vibe that just grows. And then straight away, she came in, and she just started freestyling. I was like, wow. I mean, if anyone wants to see how it was made, just go on Miraa and Friends episode 6, I think it is. The process was crazy. Hailey turns up, he freestyles some melodies, and I was like, we've got it. Say yeah, like that bit, we've got it. We've got the song done. Amazing. And then no one realizes that Miraa actually recorded the song, the final versions, like a week before she was giving birth. Mad. Oh my, what? Really? Yeah, so like she's at home, heavily pregnant, about to give birth anytime, and she's sending me the vocals back and forth, and changing a few lines and whatnot. So I was like, this woman is incredible. Like, that's amazing. Yeah. Wow, I'm mind blown by that. That is genuinely amazing. Okay, cool. Well, we're gonna get into this one now. This tune has just become even better for me off the back of hearing that. Like, wow, I'm genuinely blown away. Let's crack on. Let's get into this one. Track entitled "Say Yeah." Miraa and Hailey on this one, produced by a man like Rxwntree, who is in the building with us. Don't go anywhere. Keep it locked. It's Breakfast with KXVU, baby. Oh yes.
That you've been through, you could do with a little love, you could do with a little trust. Why don't you sit down, boy, stop bluffing? What a cup, I'm surfing. Like it when you're drunk in person. Now I wanna feel it all. Come, let's sweeten up. You're a pleaser. Now I need you. Let's get up. 'Cause you're a keeper. So nice to meet you. You're not ready when I put it on. Make you say yeah. Give my all. Come on if you want to. Take it deeper in the ocean. They on one, but we on two. Girl, let's do this in slow motion. Your body language is calling me. Can you handle all of me? I can handle all of you. I'll make you say yeah.
Friends, we're back inside the building. How are we doing? Welcome back to the show. This is Breakfast with KXVU. We're live on the line with Rxwntree. It's been a really interesting conversation